shall we start the interview?
Yes, yes.
And I would like to ask your permission to post this interview on social media and YouTube.
Sure, you can post it across.
Okay, ma'am. So, I'd like to ask you, like, when did you realize that you want to give your everything in social work?
So the realization came at the age of 10 when I was struggling with a lot of family and financial challenges. So that was the time when I decided that the problem I have been facing, I will ensure that nobody will go through it. But all it takes is time. First, it was like I had to become successful to ensure that the dreams which I had to completely be focused. So hence, I first prepared my career, reached out to that level where I could take the decision that I can also be a supporting hand to somebody who is in need. So it took me years, but in 2012, I decided that now I am at this stage that I can take up the action of change, wherein I can start my own organization. Although I was working with a multinational company, but I decided to start an NGO, and in 2013, I got the NGO registered in the name of Praveen Lata Sansthan, which is named in the name of my mother and mother-in-law. And the reason behind it was because I lost both of them in 2012 when I decided to start this organization. And these are the two inspirational ladies who has had motivated me in my whole journey of change to lead a leading life. So that was the reason the organization came into existence in 2013.
Okay, ma'am. So, what inspired you to start Praveen Lata Sansthan? And
So it was 2012 when I got an opportunity to volunteer in Mumbai slums for the street living children and the prostitute girls who were into red light area. So when I started working there, I actually realized at the age of 10 the challenges which I had faced. Similarly, the girls in this century also have been focusing on the same and leading the action of different challenges which they were going through. Hence, even in 2012, an incident with the Nirbhaya case was one of the things which motivated me and inspired me because I moved on to a lot of organizations asking for support to create an awareness program on personal safety, but nobody helped me out. And this motivated me for a while that I should come up with my own action of plan, but nobody supported. Hence, when I discussed it with my friends and families that I wanted to do an awareness program for girls and women, so they were like, no, no, this if you will do as an individual, nobody will entertain you. You need to have a team, you need to have an organization, then only you will be able to deliver the happiness and the change program which you are willing to. And that was the reason I decided that okay, going forward, I will register my organization and come up with this. So this was an incident which actually motivated me, and I started this organization.
yes, ma'am. Starting organizations like this are not easy. So, what were the challenges that you faced during this journey, and how did you deal with it?
So funds was the biggest challenge because whenever you start for the starting level itself, or from registration to getting a 12A ATG certificate, there was a huge cost. So I had to break my FD and invest all my savings to start this organization. First of all, the challenge was this. Second, people were not entertaining us because we were a very new entity. Nowadays, we have like Atal incubation centers and startups and other organizations who are ready to invest on your programs and escalators and other stuff. But at that point of time, there was no one to support me, and I had to learn the learnings by myself because when I approached to organizations who were creating a platform, taking money also, we used to sit for 2 to 3 hours there, and nobody used to talk to us, explaining us how an NGO runs. So I had to learn by myself, studying from Google and everything. And then every day we used to implement something. We used to fail. We used to succeed at times, but we started learning by our own. So these were the challenges which were the problem. Manpower was not there. So initial days, it was me and my husband. We were putting our efforts every Saturdays and Sundays to do the workshops, going across, taking permissions and willingly doing it. But not everybody used to entertain it. But it took some time when we started posting on social media and people started recognizing the efforts we have been putting across. People started coming ahead talking to us about doing this type of workshops for their organizations too. So these were the three challenges, from funds to manpower to support system, was something which we faced and we tackled it out in our own ways.
Okay, ma'am. So, one more thing I would like to ask, like, what is it like to work on ground for gender issues, and what does women empowerment mean to you?
For me, independency is what I do feel is the most utmost needed to a girl and a woman, and that everything stands upon her family, because everything is dependent upon the decision makers of her family stakeholders. So for me, women empowerment is something wherein every woman who is empowered by herself. I don't need to empower any woman, but the thing is that the things which she has forgotten has to be made her rethink that you have this independency of right to talk, right to action, right to think about yourself, and also stand for your rights, right? So that is where my role comes in, because a mother who is taking care of her house is also an independent lady, because she is the one who drives everything. She doesn't, even if she's educated or not educated, she handles her whole family very nicely and very advancedly, right? From financial management to decision making to sending her children to school, she plays a role of a CEO of an organization. So every woman and every girl is independent. For me, the time has come wherein I need to make her realize and develop her skills. That's the only aspect of women empowerment which I think is missing. So that is the role which we are playing, ensuring that she must know her capabilities from within and she should come ahead to talk about it. That is the only aspect for me.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, what goals have you set for your organization in the future to achieve?
So we have targeted to support more than 5 lakh women by 2025, and so far we have supported to around 1.7 lakh girls and women through our various initiatives. This also include COVID relief activities while the women were going through a lot of challenges in terms of their survivals, pregnancies and other stuff. But now we are focusing on skill development, especially because we need to ensure that every woman becomes economically empowered, so that these type of pandemics does not affect their personal lives. So we are focusing to work on their vocational skills so that they earn money working from their home. And that is what we will be targeting by training them on digital marketing skills from where they can sell the products they are making across.
Yes, ma'am. That is so great. So, I'd like to ask you to give some message to our listeners, like what should be their step forward to contribute their bit in women empowerment.
Uh, I won't give a message about their step because everybody knows how to contribute in terms of money and everything. First thing, every person listening out there has to understand that if you believe in the things you are implementing or doing, I think so that will give you a success. There is no work which is not impossible to be done, right? Every word has its own meaning. I am possible states that you can do it, right? So if you have that thought or a vision to do something different, not in terms of only for the society, for your personal life, for your family, for your friends, or anyone who is in need, or maybe for yourself to build a career or a growth line, you need to believe yourself. And this belief and trust about the decision you are taking will give you the courage to get successful, need successful support in your life. So that is the only message I do think to help you out is from my side.
Okay, ma'am. So, this is the question. This was the questions part. Now, I would like to ask you for a quick rapid fire. So, I'll ask little questions, and you'll have to answer quickly. So, what excites you more, spending time indoors or outdoors?
Spending time with my son.
Okay, so that means both indoors and outdoors, but with your son.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you believe in luck or hard work, but it is easy to guess.
Hard work.
Yes, ma'am. So, what is your favorite stress buster apart from spending time with your son?
Sorry, I did not get your question.
What is your stress buster apart from spending time with your son?
Fighting with my husband.
Okay. So, one of your favorite learnings that you had during your journey as a social worker.
Challenging myself at every time when somebody says you cannot do it, and I take it as a challenge to do it.
Okay, ma'am. Any your favorite quote, any phrase that inspires you in your tough times?
Music washes away the dust from your soul. That is the only message I have. And I love this quote because it was in class 10th when I was into stress, and I read this in a book. And I felt that whenever I am in stress, I always watch some song or maybe listen to some song or watch movie. That is where things goes away from my mind if any stress is there. So this is the best quote I have heard.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was really inspiring to talk to us, and we'd like to keep the interview short because we know you have a lot of work. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Ayush.
Thank you, ma'am.